How does love live in your life, Pisces? We're going to kick this reading off with a question and a channeled message from Spirit. Hey Pisces, welcome to Zero's Journey. I'm Madeline. So, mentioned a channeled message, as you can hear. I'm currently shuffling your tarot cards so that we can get into the story of your month in just a second. But first, I want to kick off with your mission statement for the month, straight from Spirit. Couldn't get much more Pisces than this. The message is simple, the message is clear. Love. Now, what Spirit is talking about first, because it spirals, it fractals out to your relationships with others. How is your relationship with yourself? How much intimacy do you have with yourself? How much compassion? And while we're talking about compassion, let's not forget passion. Is there passion in your life? Is there room for it? You know, the same way we can get into a friendship or a romantic relationship with someone and we can, over time, maybe begin to take it for granted. It's really easy to do that to ourselves. And Spirit is asking you, Pisces, to tune in to how well and how beautifully you love, and whether or not you make it a practice to love yourself, forgive yourself, offer yourself space, time, listening, compassion. You know, it's like, I hate it. It's like telling people like, hey, you need to drink more water. Like, yeah, I know. And it's like, well, why do you think everybody keeps saying it? Like, hey, you need to love yourself. Why do you think everybody keeps saying it? Like, I love you. I am not judging you personally, Pisces. I just like, the crazy bug-eyed eye contact is like, I just really want you to love yourself. I just really want you to see yourself as worthy of taking the time and the discomfort to love yourself. So, speaking of discomfort, Spirit is reminding me of a practice that they want to offer you. And then we're going to get into your cards. The practice, talk about discomfort. The level of discomfort you have with doing this practice is directly proportional to how badly you need this practice in your life. Okay? So, the practice is simple. Every morning and every night, you know, maybe you finish brushing your teeth, you look in the mirror, put your hand on your heart. That part is important. You look yourself in the eyes and you say, I love you. Because you don't have to be perfect to be loved. You don't have to be faultless. You don't have to be a hero. You don't have to be whatever, partnered, etc., etc. Have a traditional family, have a good job. You don't have to have anything to be loved. You're here. You're loved. And you deserve your own love most of all. Especially Pisces. If I know my Pisceans, and boy do I know and dearly love my Pisceans, y'all be giving love out all over the place. Some would say indiscriminately. And we're not here to talk about that. Not yet. We'll see. Maybe Spirit's going to read you on that too. But I'm saying, if you can give love to people that hurt you, you know, then why not you? Spirit being cheeky and being like, you hurt you plenty. Why can't you love you? Listen, I can't control them. Can't do a thing about it. I am a bearer. I am a messenger. Woof! Okay. Well, Spirit's throwing cards, so clearly they are ready to read you about something. So, just want to leave you with Pisces. Well, I say leave you with. I'm sure we'll harp on this for a bit. Beautiful, beautiful month to be looking at your relationship with yourself. How you talk to yourself. How you do or don't take care of your body. And I don't mean that in any other way except, do I listen and respond to it? I don't mean in any other way. We are not putting any value judgments, none of that shit. It's, do I give my body room to speak to me, and do I listen to it? And my mind and my heart and my soul, because as so often happens, they may all be saying different things. And we got to find a way to integrate. We got to find some diplomacy, you know? That's love. That's, we don't leave anybody out in the room. You know what I mean? If we could think of it this way, if you were like a parent with 4 children and they all wanted different things, well, you wouldn't say like, well, physical, who gives a shit about you? Like, you don't really matter, because heart and soul and whatever, you know, Pisces things. Like, so these things over here, they're what matter, and fuck my body. Like, fuck the physical aspect or fuck the mental aspect. I don't care about the mental. I just want to I want to feel good and I want to like sense good things, whatever. Don't leave anybody out of the room. If you're going to love yourself, let's love ourselves completely. Spirit really wants that for you. Okay, let's keep going. Spirit, what's the story for July for Pisces? What's July seas like? I know, I hate me too. Don't make that face at me. What's July like for Pisces, Spirit? What's the story? What's ahead? What's behind as a point of reference? What are we learning? Wow. What are we moving toward? How can Pisces move toward their best life, their best choices, with the most grace, joy, security, love, peace, peace of mind? Wow. Okay, Spirit, just go ahead and throw everything onto the table. Let's see what we got here. Whew. It must be Pisces. Well, that was interesting. Right when I said, like, well, what I just said, what you just heard me say, my camera died. What the fuck? But all right, we got the cards ready. Let's just keep going. I'm just saying, there's a lot of energy in the room. Must be Pisces. Still good? Still recording? Okay, all right. Look at you. First card on the table. Pisces, you see the little fish in her cup. Come on now, Pisces, that is you. Page of Cups, messenger of, what do you know? Love. Okay, all right. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna keep going. See, with loving admonishment. Yup. Okay, see. I wonder how many, and I'm curious, no pressure, but I'm curious how many of you all have Aquarius placements. If you want to let me know, wow. If you want to let me know in the comments, I would be very curious to hear. Because there is, wow, there's some strong crossover messaging. Pisces, I see graduation for you. I see you learning to value yourself more over the course of this month. So I think that maybe you are going to take this invitation to really nurture, to really cultivate this relationship with yourself. Okay, so let's talk. Center of your reading. Like I said, showed you earlier, Page of Pentacles. What is crossing you? What is, causing the most conflict or represents the sort of dominant energy in your life right now? 8 of Swords. Held back, insecurity, anxiety, circular thoughts, fears about whether you're good enough, fears about whether you're capable. So if we look at the 8 of Swords, she is tied up and blindfolded, but if we take even a little bit of a second glance, we can see that she could literally shrug off those ropes that are around her, and then she could remove that blindfold, and then she could decide if she wanted to keep moving forward. But as it stands now, it seems and feels like she has no choice. You feel me? So Pisces, first things first, no fucking blame, no fucking shame. All right, none of that either. No blame, no shame, no judgment, because we don't do that here. We're all learning. We're all imperfect. We're all fucking around and finding out, all right? But the important thing is that you keep fucking around and you keep finding out. If you stop fucking around, you stop finding out. Spirit's just being very straightforward. So it's time to experiment. It's time to go deeper, to test your boundaries, something that you're good with. except maybe having boundaries. That could be the problem. And that is part of cultivating that relationship with yourself, is recognizing, because a lot of Pisces people that I know and dearly love struggle with, what are my boundaries? Oh, I thought I was okay with that. It was only like, you know, right after I hung up the phone, or a couple days later after the exchange, that I realized I'm really uncomfortable with how that went, or the way that they treated me, or what I've been offered at this job, or whatever, right? Spirit wants you to, wow, I really like this. Spirit's talking about the way that they're saying we want you to practice love with yourself. They want you to practice love, and what's with love? Gentleness, compassion, support, space, listening to your pain, your fear, your struggle. Not just experiencing them, not just having the thoughts, but like having a dialogue with that part of you. You know, I've never actually seen this movie, but is it Inside Out? Is that the Pixar movie where it's like each emotion is represented by like a different character? That's kind of what Spirit is showing me, is like coming to the table with like the 4 or 5 or 6 different yous. It's like, okay, you know, okay, productivity, we've heard from you. Now I want to hear from insecurity. Or now I want to hear from body. Now I want to hear from heart. Now I want to hear from mind. You know what I mean? Now I want to hear from fear. Fear. Why don't you want us to go? Or fear. Why do you have to be so loud? Whatever you need to say to these different aspects of you, but in a loving, supportive, you know, board meeting kind of a way. Ugh, can I take that back? Can we strike that from the record? I mean, like group therapy. Like when I say board meeting, it comes from a place of like, oh, you know what it is? You know what it really is like Voltron. Like, we're all in this together. Like, we all form the mecha together, right? So if one of us, I'm so sorry for those of y'all like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm talking about like old cartoons where, you know, like Power Rangers and shit like that. Again, old shit, where the whole team has to be involved so that the final form can happen, right? It's a team effort. So even you as an individual within yourself, Pisces, it's a team effort. And if one of you is limping along behind everybody, or one of you is scapegoated, you know what I'm saying? Like body is scapegoated, or feelings are scapegoated, or even brain and strategy and logic are scapegoated and cast aside, and that's why we feel disconnected from ourselves, is because we disconnect from ourselves, like because we either don't want to connect with ourselves, or we've been taught not to connect with certain aspect of ourselves. I can't connect with my sexuality because my family despised it and my religion says it's bad, or whatever, and therefore your sexuality or the physical becomes a part of you that is if not just is outcast, if not outright like demonized and scapegoated. So if you're scapegoating any aspect of yourself, including your fear, it's time to stop. The Empress. This is what's going on within you. Spirit is saying revolution of love. Revolution of love. Time to mother yourself. Time to love yourself. Time to cultivate yourself. Time to, most of all, appreciate yourself, because the Empress knows her worth and her value. You know, the Spirit's being funny and everything, but Spirit's like, the Empress doesn't worry about if like there's like a little roll in her tummy when she sits down. The Empress is not worried about that, because she has a concept of herself that is so whole and so large and magnificent, that how in the world could she get so myopic as to worry about like the roll over her pants or whatever? Like, oh, then I don't wear pants. You know what I'm saying? Like, Spirit's talking about how loving yourself is a practice, and listening to yourself is a practice. And here's something, this is interesting, and it's true. It's like, people don't talk about the risks of loving yourself. It's risky to love and listen to yourself, because if you start listening to yourself, you might have to change some shit. Scary shit, right? You might have to leave some shit behind if you started listening to yourself, right? Scary shit. Might have to go somewhere, might have to do something, might have to let go of some guilt, might have to let go of some responsibility that was never yours, that was handed to you, and now you know better, and now you have the option to go, oh, I'm dropping that shit here because that ain't mine. You can pick it up if you want. I'm not picking it up. Not yours to carry. It's too much right now, Pisces. It's too much. 5 of Pentacles crowning your reading. I have a lovely antidote for you, but first we got to get through. We got to get here. We got to be here, okay? And Spirit is having me kind of hammer on that, Pisces, because that's a thing for you. Again, no fucking blame, no shame, no judgment. It is just like the fact that all of us have like unique gifts and superpowers, however you want to think of them. Even our unique gifts and superpowers have like a double face, right? Like, so you can have this, which you do as a Pisces, like this tremendous ability for empathy and compassion. And then the flip side of that can be like some martyr syndrome and some like being completely drained and folding into resentment because like you didn't catch the fact that like, oh wait, I'm about to be tapped out. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be here in the present, not projecting into the past or future to try to like balm or soothe or get past this. If you are struggling in terms of having enough, whether it's enough money, enough energy, enough love, enough joy, all of the above, your remedy is to be honest with yourself about it. Because I'll tell you what, lying to yourself and like telling yourself that like it's just because you're not good enough, or it's just because you're not trying hard enough, or it's just because you're not as strong as other people or whatever, that shit will make you sick. Spirit don't want you sick. Spirit don't want you burdened. Spirit don't want you rationalizing your self-loathing. That's what they just said. Damn. Where you find yourself, stress, sleepless nights, repetitive or circular thoughts, dread is what I'm hearing. So some of you, it's like you have a certain event or a certain date in mind that's ahead, and it's like you just like Spirit is now playing like the loudest, echoiest, like grandfather clock, like that pendulum, like tick tock, tick tock, and like it's like dreadful, right? It's giving me some Edgar Allan Poe fucking like underneath the floorboards and evermore shit. And I want to give you so much fucking reassurance that that is not the color or the flavor of what lies ahead for you, Pisces. Which of course we have to remember, so much of the determining factor of what you experience, what you encounter, what you integrate is you. It's not all us, right? But it is mostly us. So, your future. Holding on a little too tightly, using what there is, and it's like it might be just enough, making it work. Things feel tight. So I feel like time is tight, money's tight, room to move might feel tight at first. Here's your antidote. Here's your solution, because you have 3 cards representing your future. So there's an unfolding here, which begins with the 4 of Pentacles and then leads into, this is that graduation I was talking about. Just a reminder, you start here in your reading, and here is how the rest of your future unfolds. A graduation into a Queen of Cups, from Page of Cups, messenger of love, giver of love, to embodier of love. And then the 6 of Pentacles, the opposite of these types of energies. 4, 5, 6. Getting paid what I deserve. Getting supported the way I deserve. Receiving in turn. So if you've been going without, or struggling, or living with not enough, Spirit is offering you an opportunity via getting to understand yourself, bringing all of the yous to the table and letting them all talk. Maybe you write a fucking short story where the 5 yous are all having a conversation or whatever. That can be cool. Make art of yourself, right? But in some way, you getting in deep touch with yourself and healing yourself brings about a healing of your ability to receive, to ask and to receive, because that's important, being able to ask. People around you want to give to you. Particularly, I do feel financially, but also potential. And then the conclusion and key. Love is all around you, Pisces. People who want to support you in terms of finances and just like kind of like mundane support, like, hey, can I come over and help you clean? Or like, well, hey, here's some apartments that I know about in my area, or whatever. Like the practical things and the emotional, psychological, familial, loving things. 10 of Cups is a card we all want to get. My cups runneth over. You know, my family, whether blood or chosen, loves me. My friends love me. My lover or whatever loves me. Most important of all, and the root of all that other love, I love me. And Spirit is saying it's really important to remind you that it is the root of all the other love, because if this is a backdoor to getting you to love yourself better and more, Pisces, the extent to which we love ourselves is the extent to which we can love other people. So if you know that there are parts of you that you scapegoat, reject, and shame, then maybe for the sake of these other people, you might want to work on not blaming and scapegoating and shaming yourself and being sweet to you and hearing you out. You deserve. Okay. I'll leave it there, Pisces. Thank you for listening, for being here. I really hope it helps. If it does, hit the like button. If you hated it, hit the dislike button. It's what it's there for. If you really dug it, subscribe. And if you want to keep hanging out, I've got a Discord chat, I've got a Patreon. If you want to get a personal reading, all that is in the description below. I appreciate you, Pisces, and I am wishing you, frankly, much love and many blessings. Maybe I even like that better. Until the next time I see you. And if I don't see you in the Sunday vlogs, Pisces, then I hope I will see you in your August reading. Until then, bye, Pisces.